Hello, beautiful humans, and welcome back to another episode of Psychedactyls. And I just want to say thank you so much for all of the overwhelming support and love on my first video, and everyone who messaged me and commented below. I'm just very excited to see how much resonance there was with it, and I'm also just very excited to go forward and keep making these videos for you guys and spread the knowledge of these compounds, just to educate people so we can destigmatize the use of it. Today we're going to be talking about, just some starter kit knowledge to just get a basis for what these compounds are for yourself and, some of the stuff we're going to be talking about in the future. So to start off, let's look into the definition of psychedelic. So it actually translates to mind manifesting. These compounds are teachers, so we must give them a lot of respect. But what's also interesting is that you also become the teacher. These compounds also induce conscious expanding experiences. It frees the human mind from everyday perception. Words are also very constraining to kind of describe the experiences as well because it's just very profound. A good thing to note is that these things are non-addictive and too much will not kill you. So these are also safe to take and not addictive. However, obviously, any kind of compound can be abused. A little bit of history on psychedelics is that they have been around for at least 5,000 years, and there's even some evidence of it going back all the way to the Old Testament, probably even further than that. It's interesting to see that they have gone through cycles of being repressed and resurfacing. So we're at a point in our timeline that it's now resurfacing again. So there are about 3 classic psychedelics, the main psychedelics, you could say. There is psilocybin, aka magic mushrooms, lysergic acid, or LSD, then there's N,N-dimethyltryptamine, or DMT. I want to give these compounds their own episode because it's really interesting to look at the difference of these, but to put it basically, LSD and psilocybin are very similar in their effects. You'll process fractals or patterns much more efficiently than you would before. You're seeing in somewhat of a higher dimension, a higher fractal dimension.
Here is typically what your closed eye visuals would look like on higher doses. Fun fact, you're actually looking at the Mandelbrot set here, which is the most complicated mathematical set known to man. After interviewing 50 individuals who have taken psychedelic compounds, 92% resonated with these images regarding psychedelic visuals.
You go deep into your psyche, the way that your mind behaves is very interesting, and everything is more interconnected. Then DMT is like entering the 5th dimension or something like that. You'll be going into hyperspace, something that is more real than real, hyper-realistic, which is very interesting. You'll see higher dimensional objects like tesseracts, for example, and virtually everyone who takes DMT will encounter higher beings, also known as DMT aliens or machine elves. If you take enough psilocybin, you will actually get somewhat of a crossover episode with DMT, so that's also very interesting.
So the benefits of these compounds, there is an access to higher points of personal growth. It's a treatment for depression and anxiety. You have this spiritual connection that you've never had before. A lot of people who have these types of experiences tend to become more spiritual. You have this greater self-awareness, becoming more open and obtaining an open mindset, more empathetic, better mood, and reduction of negativity in your life. Hyperconnectivity, you gain enlightenment and revelations on yourself, your life, the world and humanity, the reality we're currently situated in, and the universe as a whole. It's good to mention that most of these benefits come from taking macrodoses, which we'll talk about right now.
Now, I want to get into the two types of dosing, macrodosing and there's microdosing. So with microdosing, you take a very minuscule amount, about 10th to 5th of a standard dose. There are no visual effects. You will not have a full-blown trip. It will give the kind of mind expanding experience, but in very small amounts. It's also great to do if you're a bit anxious taking psychedelics, just to get like used to how you would think on them. They're also good to get into flow states.
So, a flow state is the mental state of operation, which a person performing an activity is fully immersed in a feeling of energized focus, full involvement, and enjoyment in the process of the activity, also known as being in the zone.
Sparking creativity.
It's also great for meditation.
But without having a full trip. I want to do an episode all about microdosing and how to microdose effectively. So, macrodosing, you will experience the visual effects. Well, from a lot of the research, the most amount of work is done through macrodosing. It is also the most beneficial for just kind of getting those epiphanies, those realizations. You can also encounter divine entities on macrodoses. You will get a very profound spiritual experience, and I want to use a analogy to kind of compare the two. So there's like this closet analogy. Say like all the things that you repress in your mind, all those scary things you don't really want to touch, you just want to ignore, those are all in a closet. All the cobwebs, all the skeletons, all the scary stuff. With microdosing to like standard doses, you can open that door, but you can choose to close it. With really high doses, that door is flinging right open and you can't close it. What you gotta do is welcome it. You have to be ready, you have to be prepared to just, see what comes out. Because you can't just stop it, you can't just repress it, because if you do, things aren't gonna go well. You have to face these issues head on, and that's how you really get most of the work done. Now, here's a very important thing on the abuse of it. Don't mix. don't mix it, because the goal isn't to get higher, right? You have to respect these compounds, and even mixing can disrupt your experience and possibly give you something like an anxiety attack. Even if you've mixed before and nothing went wrong, you don't want to take that risk again, because you never know. It might actually happen. And you don't want to learn that lesson the hard way. Trust me, it's not fun. Another important thing is to take these, especially macrodoses, you want to take with moderation. You don't want to be taking these every day, because that can lead to a lot of issues. It is not healthy to be doing that. It's not healthy to be taking psychedelics, high amounts of psychedelics every day. You can read up on the people who've done that. It is not a good idea. You want to at least be taking macrodoses 2 weeks to a month apart from each other. So yes, very important keyword, moderation here. Another thing I want to add is if you have any diagnosed mental illnesses, please look into if any kind of psychedelic is right or okay for you to take, because they're not for everyone, and I want to make sure everyone is safe. Also, for everyone, if you're ever going to take a psychedelic, look into trip reports to see how other people's experiences have went, to see if, should I be taking this? Hey guys, I just wanted to add one more thing. Psilocybin therapy is coming to Canada very soon. They're training their therapists in January, and I'm very excited to see how it all turns out, because I think this is a great way to treat mental illness, and we really need to take a different approach on it as well. So I'm very excited, especially for the times right now in this crisis, mental health crisis. We need a different approach. We need a better way, as well as the fact that, we don't need to take it every day. It's something that you can at least take once a month, or you can have lasting effects for years. Well, I hope everyone enjoyed, and I'm very excited to keep continuing this series, and I hope everyone had a great time. Comment down below what you guys want to see next, how you like the video, etc., etc. If you got any questions. Yeah, have a great day.